interested in the art world. Kaws, the brilliant ideas caused from graffiti to galleries. It's He does a lot of designer toys now
We're
and
installing the
sculptures.
Kaws exhibition today.
I told them I won't crash out for views. They responded with, "That's why no one will remember your name." JK. No, actually, I know you're joking, but it's actually kind of true. Like I said, for nowadays, because I guess nowadays you got to figure out to do something completely unique and new, or yet actually you just got to figure out a way to market yourself very well. You may be like you may not have a lot to offer in your content as much, but if you know how to market yourself, you can make it big.
Large wooden sculptures which have to be assembled bit by bit. It's quite a task. We've got 85-ton cranes on site, two 20-ton trucks, 22 technicians, wagons running back and forth. We've had 13 40-foot trucks onto the site this week just delivering the sculpture.
I think that when people see this exhibition, what they will understand here is the sheer quality of his work. It's quite extraordinary.
You saw a piece and you're like, wow, like that guy took a Calvin Klein ad and made some type of sperm cell probably, wrapping around a woman or whatever, and you're like, whoa, what's that about?
Kaws' lines are all perfection. He knows how he wants this art to feel, he knows how he wants you to feel, and he's a complete master over what he's doing.
If it's a canvas, if it's a product, if it's a toy. If it's a
By the way, guys, like for artists, man, if you can figure out your own art style, your own characters, and if you can make it with that, dude, you will be remembered a lot more than doing fan art. Even though I'm doing fan art right now, but like I'm telling you guys, I'm still working on a lot of my original characters, a lot of my original ideas. Because one, I did feel more fulfilled by doing that, and two, that's how I always got my attention. That's how I still survived of like doing art in general because like yeah, art fan art does help for marketing purposes, but original art does help you out, and I get more in the long term. I think, my personal opinion. Yo, what up, Vakomo? How are you feeling today? I'm doing all right. Just working, doing my thing. Just watching a video called the Kaws documentary. How you doing?
wall on the street, I think he doesn't care. It's really about being able to communicate in a way that's meaningful to him.
You know, I don't really try to impose like any certain feeling or like a reaction. I'm not trying to pull a reaction out of somebody when I make a sculpture. No, I just want them to take from it what they can.
Yeah, and I heard that at the meeting, by the way.
Brian Donnelly goes by the name Kaws. Best known for his work as a painter, toy maker, product designer, and sculptor, he's created an instantly recognizable aesthetic that has seduced followers all over the world. His most famous creations are the crew of characters he's developed over 20 years, such as Bendy, a sexually disconcerting tadpole-like creature, Companion, the first character to take 3D form, the bold figure of Chum, and Accomplice, his pink bunny-suited rabbit.
You know, when I was a kid, I was always drawing. It's sort of like the thing I retreated to, and it wasn't for really any reason. I didn't know of like artists. I thought artists were dead people in books, basically. When I was in class, if I was disinterested, I would draw on the sidelines of the books, and you know, any chance I got, I kind of like, I used that as my crutch to deal.
Kaws grew up in Jersey City, where, from a young age,
I do a mixture of both. My hand commissions are normally 1-on-1s for my clients. Yeah, that's why it's more memorable. When I do my paintings, even though they're the quick paintings, by the way, like the 8x8s, they're obviously they're fan arts, but like they're 1-on-1. I don't make prints of them. I don't make stickers of them. They're just 1-on-1.
art was an escape.
I actually met Brian, or Kaws, when he was still in college. First, he brought me his portfolio, right? So he was in illustration school, not in fine art school, and he had the most amazing portfolio. I mean, he could literally do anything. I mean, he could do Rembrandt. So he had this like very vast skill set, and now he's kind of narrowed that down to like his thing. But you know, he came from a position of power where he could do anything, and then he picked the thing he was going to do, and he stayed with it.
He got caught up in the heady New York graffiti movement when he moved to Manhattan in 1996.
It's not an adventure just to be a studio artist, but it's a huge adventure to be a street artist or a graffiti artist, because you go out at night, you're breaking the law, you're going to some really high, dangerous place, you're knocking up something, and the next day everybody can see it.
And suddenly graffiti kind of gave me a sort of way to communicating with other peers, you know, or other older kids. It was just, you know, I learned a lot. You know, I was trading photos with kids in Germany, kids in Spain, and I was going, you know, around the Bronx and Washington Heights taking photos. So yeah, it was sort of like a gateway into thinking more broadly about art. When I started getting more into graffiti, I started to think about just a name that I liked the letters and how they worked with each other. And you know, if you're going to paint the same letters over and over,
That's a lot of artists. Yeah, a lot of
find
graffiti artists do that.
that you think is suitable.
Yeah, that's a lot of graffiti artists do. They pick a name where like their favorite letters to use, and a lot of letters they're easy for them to make. A lot of artists do that. A lot of graffiti, they just look for names like that.
Nothing that Kaws does is ordinary, and the graffiti is of a huge scale on bridges and freight trains and trucks. The quality of it is quite extraordinary. The way that it's painted it is exceptional painting, and that of course is what marked him out against all of the others, or some of the others. There were a lot of very good graffiti artists working in New York at that time, but he was very clearly, from a very, very early stage, considered to be one of the best.
I'm not a graffiti artist, so that's why I use
The
the
name he
Johnny
made
Boy
for
G
himself
name.
as a graffiti artist coincided with a surge of advertisers in New York taking up coveted graffiti wall space for their billboards.
In the 90s, there was this sort of explosion of wall painting with advertising in Manhattan. There was these, I think it started with these giant Donna Karan murals that were like, you know, from curbside to building top, these giant DKNY with cityscapes in them, and then eventually other advertisers started to do it, and all these great spots that were graffiti spots for decades were suddenly getting painted over. So, you know, I just felt that it was kind of strange that, you know, it was sort of taking a lot of the sort of younger voices away, and I like that.
I used to write news. Oh, really? That's actually funny.
I started painting over billboards, which were these giant advertisements on highways, and I would just stand on the platform and paint, and there would be cars going by in the middle of the night.
This kind of engagement with advertisers pushed Kaws to make his graffiti increasingly provocative.
When I moved to Manhattan in '96, I started working over phone booths and bus shelters.
He got a key that enabled him to open the cases in bus shelters and phone booths, and he removed the posters, took them to the studio, worked on them overnight, and then surreptitiously put them back into the cases. And so New Yorkers were
Very
confronted
smart.
by
Very
Kate
smart.
Moss and Christy Turlington in their Calvin Klein underwear.
Very, very
encircled
smart.
by this figure called Bendy, or cavorting with him. And he's a very ambiguous character. In some ways, there's a kind of friendliness about him. In other ways, that's the opposite of that is true.
I started to think about how like advertising worked and how that communicates to such a broad audience, and thinking of graffiti as being such a small, closed-off world that, you know, the participants really kind of understand what's going on, but to the greater public, it just, you know, you can look at a wall and really not know what you're looking at. And when I was working over the ads, I started to think about using sort of iconography that would operate in a broader sense. It wasn't quite graffiti anymore.
For his specific art, he employs the XIs, which signifies death in older cartoons. He would just use popular characters that a lot of people grew up with, such as Peanuts, Snoopy, dating back to Mickey Mouse in the 1920s to present times with SpongeBob and Simpsons. So he like really reached a broad spectrum of.
Like, even though he was doing his own original characters, he had similar color schemes, or like at least like enough imagery of fan art characters, but you could tell that his art style is his. So that's why, like, that's one of the reasons why I decided to do my art style and the things that I want to do. It's because of, like, even though I'm doing fan art, hopefully I'm doing fan art where people could recognize my style. People could like, oh, that's Johnny Boy. That's what he does. It's like he does this, he does that. Oh, I recognize the eyebrows, recognize this, recognize that. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So
of generations.
that's always try to push.
In my opinion, the skull and crossbones heads are masks. They're hiding the foibles and the fallibility that we all have. And in some of the works have on their hands, their gloved hands, have this cross. And in some works, the hands go over the eyes. And it's as though, from my perspective, the figures are hiding themselves from the world.
Also, it could just be that it looks cool. Hold up. Wait, what's this?
And we enjoyed them, but we were like, did you just expect us to stand in the back as you played Mario, where no one can press?
I actually asked that a few times, and you were just like, yeah. So I assumed that that was going to be the rest of the stream. And again,
we literally asked, like, are we here to just stand and watch you play Mario as no one can hear us?
They left the stream.
For the record, we liked the guests. It's just we had 2 hours to come hang, and we literally just put in the back, and it didn't really feel like our time was really respected, and it had nothing to do with the guests, because the guests were really nice, and we're not mad at all, but we didn't appreciate that you spin the narrative a bit.
What a dumbass.
Mad, and that's okay, and
Of course,
at the end of the day, we are here because we're real friends, Miz, but we're going to call you out, because that was, you know, we actually didn't even think you would notice if we left, which, for the record, it took you 10 minutes to notice, so.
I mean, why would you invite them? And okay, all right. Sorry, that was pretty funny.
And yet they're still looking through their fingers. They're still aware of what's happening out in the world.
He wants to speak through visual imagery. He wants to speak through accessible visual imagery, which is figurative imagery, right? And he's just looking for mechanisms. He's looking for means in which he can convey his ideas.
Over the years, Kaws' relationship with commercial advertisers became closer, but at the same time, more complicated.
There's a Captain Morgan billboard that he graffitied, and then Captain Morgan incorporated that graffiti into their next generation of advertising. So this
may be the last ad you ever see.
What?
Because with the free ad block extension from Capital One Shopping,
symbiotic relationship begins at a very early point, and this sense of what is fake and what is original is established very early on.
Kaws has undeniably become a cultural phenomenon, but this success has raised questions about the relationship between his commercial outputs and his standing as an artist.
Oh, like, you're a sellout, bro. You're a sellout.
Artist Kaws came from the New York graffiti scene to become an international cultural phenomenon. He's made his mark on everything from painting and sculpture to clothing and product design. But the turning point for his career in the commercial world came after meeting a toy designer in Tokyo.
In Japan, there was a company called Bounty Hunter, and I was introduced to this company I was working with called Hectic. And you know, they were making toys. They were making small edition toys. They made this toy for this English artist, actually James Jarvis, and he was interested and happy to do a toy with me. So I just did, you know, a bunch of rotation drawings the way you would in animation of what a figure would look like from each angle. And we worked with a sculptor and sort of sculpted it and got
Oh, also, if you want to do designer toys, now you can do a little bit more complicated stuff, but it's some of the best like designer toys. It's also like, if the simplistic it is, the cooler it is, and also the easier to replicate it, the design toy. That's why a lot of designer toys are like not super complex. There are some obviously some more complex figures out there, but for the most part, if it's simple to replicate and redo, they a lot of people prefer that, especially to like remake it pretty much. Like for example, the big final toy that's going on like crazy right now, Lil Boo Boo. The monster design is not complex. It's actually very simple. When you really look at it, it's a very simple kind of figure or design, but it works very well, and a lot of people love it.
Right. And then suddenly, yeah, I have hundreds of these toys that I took around and sold on consignment.
Before I even knew who Brian was or who Kaws was, I saw the character that he created. So here I was in Tokyo, and I saw one Hong Kong dealer, and he had a table, and on his table he had these, well, I would say, look like Mickey Mouse characters. And I asked him what they were, and he said these are called companions. And he gave me a price, and I said, I want to buy the whole table. I want to buy everything you have.
Damn.
I just knew that this was something that was so cool, and I had to buy it, I had to get it, I had to have it, and I wanted other people to see it.
The companion in 1999 was a really important point for a number of reasons. I mean, for one thing, it gave him a kind of economic viability because they sold like crazy, and then he was able to make more and to do other things. But it also, I think, spoke to him about the possibilities of what sculpture might be, of how he might be able to make sculpture.
You know, I'd only known my work in 2D in the past from drawing and painting. I've been doing that pretty much my whole life. So to suddenly have like a sculptural thing, and it really just got me thinking about what else sculpturally I can make.
I want to do some figures in the future too. That's like my biggest like goal to do figures. Yo, what up, Matt Paperboy? How's it going? Long as you get an influencer to push your product, then more people will follow. That's how sheep work. I would say it's like it depends how you market yourself and how memorable you could make you market yourself. My dad said he needs my card to go to a birthday party tomorrow in Seattle. Oh shit, really? I'm sorry, I just read that. My bad, Shadow. They keep using the same email. That was the one email before. Wait, tomorrow's Saturday, right? Yeah, hey, thank you so much to the Red. How's it going? Like, what you got going on so far? Oh, thank you. We're just working on a couple stickers for Anime Expo right now because I have an art. I'm doing Anime Expo next month. Possibly it may get canceled because some things have been going on lately on LA. But yeah, we have Anime Expo going on next month, so I'm in it, and so I'm just doing some fan arts right now. I've been doing a lot of fan art lately. The reason why is because I don't have a lot of fan art. I don't have a lot of fan art products or anything like that when I do art shows. So I'm just doing these for like to do at least because I wanted to, when I do an art show, I'm trying to keep it as 50% fan art, 50% original art, and so that's where I now. So that's why it looks like I'm doing a lot of fan art, but in a big scan of game, scan of things, I'm not doing that much. Just I was doing some doodling too. Oh, nice, dude. What kind of dude? For what kind of like doodles are you
When I
working
first
with?
started working with
For what?
Companion, it was as a toy, and it wasn't really even thinking of this character that would have any life beyond the first sculpt. I've always sort of jokingly imagined it to be something like 15 feet tall. And here it's only a few years later, and it's 40 feet, and it's filled with helium for the Thanksgiving Day parade. It's just bizarre.
I know Brian was excited, but I was probably just as excited as he was to see, the character, the companion, from how, I had it, sold it, and all of a sudden everyone can see it in life size, floating in the Macy's Day Parade.
If you have a balloon in the Macy's Day Parade, you're big time.
Well, yeah.
The art world really hasn't got a piece in the Macy's Day Parade until Kaws.
I won't be surprised if you see Lil Boo Boo in the Thanksgiving parade, guys, in the next few years. I would not be surprised, guys. if you get like, I would not like if they make a Labubu balloon for Thanksgiving, it's gonna happen. I was out streaming kayaking the other days as I sat there hitting a bowl. It dawned on me I want to paint this. And so today I was like, after it, let's. Oh, there you go. That sounds like a chill time, dude. Yeah, that sounds like a very chill time.
As if confirmation was needed of Kaws' success on the public stage, he was soon given the ultimate assurance of his place in popular culture.
Oh, the MTV trophy, yeah.
In 2013, Kaws really broke the barriers of what an artist can do. And he was approached by MTV to reimagine the Moonman Award in his own image, the companion image, as well as design everything, whether it's the banners or the stage itself.
So suddenly it went from, oh, the sculpture, the trophy looks amazing. Would you want to design the whole stadium? And of course, I'm going to try to, make the most of that opportunity. So suddenly we're working with these giant inflatables and designing stage sets and doing all the visuals.
Oh, by the way, guys, I have an opportunity coming up, that I will be doing in possibly another shirt for a charity, guys. I did one before, and I'm working with a different company, which again I have not signed any contract with, but I may be signing a contract with them for soon to do a collab piece, a collab T-shirt. So stay tuned for that, guys. I just got the confirmation, pretty much today actually. Confirmation they're gonna go ahead with it, and I'm gonna work with them. So it's very exciting. And yeah. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Mad Boy. Appreciate it. Thank you. I've been really working hard of like trying to figure out more of my art style, and I'm super happy that people are digging my fan art, art style of like like doing these characters. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Like I kind of mix two words together, but anyways, I'm really happy that people are digging my fan art style, pretty much. Me doing the whole thing. By the way, guys, like I said, there are limited amount, guys. If you guys want to check it out, the merch drop on my store. We got a couple, like a lot of fan art pieces, also a couple original art pieces too as well, mixed and matched. But yeah, if you guys want to get this limited release, I sold mostly about a third, close to a half on some of these prints. Once they're gone, they're gone. Also the stickers as well, very limited, guys. As soon as they're gone, guys. I will not remake them. I will not repost them unless it makes sense to bring them back in some way. But I won't say what because again, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do exactly in the future. But yeah, so get these prints, guys, right now. They're available by 8x10s and 5x7s. Limited time. It will help me out to pay some like stuff for like the art show, like food, hotel, that kind of stuff, or in general. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, guys, I really appreciate it. High quality prints, guys. I printed myself. They're 110 LP paper. They're very thick paper. They're not very loose paper. They're not thin paper. They're very high quality matte paper. That is a it's very good quality, guys. It's not like low quality prints, guys. So if you guys check it out, really appreciate it. Oh, sorry. Go back to this.
For the tickets and the advertising.
Reflecting his high profile in the media, Kaws' products were becoming desirable collectibles. In 2014, his original fake companion sold for $129,000 US at auction,
bro!
one of the highest
What up,
prices ever
Glitch?
achieved
How's it
for a
going?
toy. He has a growing family of fans all over the world.
Anytime anyone ever comes into Toy Tokyo, the first artist, toy, anything related is Kaws. You have anything from Kaws? You have anything about Kaws? You have this Kaws, this Kaws?
When the collectibles and the figures were released in the retail market, they started off as low as $98 or even as low as $50. And
Yeah,
now
we
they
got that now,
skyrocketed,
dude.
some tenfold, some more than that.
Yeah.
The 4-foot companion roughly fetches for around 30,000 to 40,000 in auctions, and his
Crazy.
small scale limited edition collectibles
Crazy.
range anywhere from $100 to $25,000.
In my
That's
collection,
so
personally,
crazy,
I got at least
dude.
about a good 70 to 100.
Not much, but just chilling before I go to bed. Well, yeah, it's very late. It's about to be 2 o'clock in the morning. Wait for my lovely session of D&D tonight. Nice. I've always want to play D&D. I just never had time for it. Hopefully, I will be able to cross that off my list in the future. Because it just sounds fun, you know.
100 course pieces in my collection. What collecting means to me, it's something that represents who you are. And that means, like, if you come to my house and you see like bear bricks and you see like Kaws figures and you see like bathing ape stuff in my house, you know that's what I'm into.
Most of these I acquired back in 2013, so a few years after its release. What he's saying is underneath what would be a dead companion is actually full of color, there's life in there, and you can really see, you know, what makes the core. You get the psychology on a molecular level that people are more than what they are on the surface.
For some, Kaws' work means more than mere collecting.
Kaws helped me become who I am as a person and define my career path. So what started out as a hobby really took off, and I really invested a lot of time and blood, sweat, energy into it, and it really pays off, and it really becomes doing something I love every single day, you know.
One must-have for brand owners. The Sticky brand gives you an affordable and effective way to promote your brand
I hate
and artwork. Building a brand is
commercials.
difficult.
Dude, I love playing D&D. I have really opened my creativity up. I got like 3 current characters I'm using. 2 Dragonborn stepbrothers. One being Revenant, Undead, Dragonborn, and named Winterfell, and his little stepbro, Varrock Fell. Damn. Damn. I know some people commission artists or they draw them the character themselves, right? That's the thing.
But does Kaws' commercial focus in any way diminish his importance as an artist?
The art world in which we live today is a much more complicated, a much more chaotic, in some ways is a kind of balkanized chaos. And within that balkanized chaos, there are multiple registers of value. And those registers of value are how we determine quality and importance of art. Now, those registers overlap to some extent. One register, for instance, of value is the market. Another register of value is critical acclaim. Another register of value is museum exhibitions and collections. Kaws, I think, has been very successful as a commercial artist. He's also very popular with critics and collectors, but his art historical value, I think, is questionable.
Most artists in history have been commercial artists. Most of the greatest artists that we adore were commercial artists. Rembrandt was a portrait artist. You paid him, he made a portrait of you. Michelangelo worked for the church. He did these spectacular pieces for the Pope. It wasn't really till the 20th century that the concept of art, you know, this pure sacred thing that's art for art's sake actually existed.
To treat him as any less of an artist because he's involved in a directly commercial enterprise, or the fact that his skill set transcends the art world, I think is a big mistake. It's additionally something that makes him much more interesting as an artist rather than less so.
When Kaws was looking at other artists when he was growing up, and I think he's someone who's always looked at other artists, he was looking at people like Warhol, he was looking at Jean-Michel Basquiat, he's looking at...
I don't really respect a lot of these artists. I'm kidding. Warhol, I don't respect Warhol. Of all these artists that she named, like I'm not a big fan of.
He was looking at people like Warhol. He was.
I mean, Warhol. Okay, he was good at what he brought into the art world, right? But I feel like that was the beginning, or like continuing the trend of this type of art, where it's just like just splatter of nothing, right? I'm not saying he did that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, again, it's not really his fault. I should say that. Like I respect what he did. It wasn't really his fault, but like I feel like he continued the trend where we got like people of like just wasting paper and ink and all this kind of stuff to put like weird splashes on a canvas, or try to make meaning of something that wasn't really anything there, or do some weird shit kind of thing. That's kind of thing, right? That's what I really meant. Like Warhol, like what he did, awesome, but it's like, ah man, I feel like that's just opened the floodgate of all things kind of thing. He's over 1,000 years old. Did being resurrected from the dead repeatedly due to having, of course, bloodline. His name is Lacurion. A play on Lacurion copy course over up on my favorite. Oh, okay. Here's what I was working on. Why the link did not work? Hello. Can you put the link again? If you just put like a space between the dot and the what was it, like the dot com, put a space in between. Maybe that, I don't know why links are not working my channel right now. So if you could do, that'd be awesome. Okay, why is it not working? Huh? Can you put it in my Discord? I think that'd be better then. I don't know why it's not working. It's never happened to me on Twitch. I didn't. Maybe something in moderation changed. Kind of reminds me of how people made NFTs that made no sense. I mean, NFT makes no sense to begin with, but the stupid shit that they were made into, though. Yeah, but like here's the thing with NFTs, it could have been something really great, because like just think about it this way, like something simplistic, right? You know, like a lot of people buy outfits for characters, um, and like and you can't do anything with those outfits you don't want to use for your character, right? So what NFTs could have done is a way where people could make money off of an outfit they no longer want to use or wear. They could like sell it back to the community, either get their money back or make a little profit to buy something they want. You know what I mean? Exactly, it's something like that. Because like a lot of because you know, like a lot of things now we're going into a digital era, and it's gotten so bad where like you don't even own that product anymore. In California, they passed a law recently where if you buy a digital product, it is a licensed product. You don't actually buy the product unless it's actually advertised that way. So when you buy something online, it will say license, not actually buying the game, because you're just licensing the product nowadays. So it's like I feel like NFT could have been a really great, like a really great, what do you call it, tool to like for to people to make money, or to at least like recycle of like the of like microtransactions pretty much, and like or whatever they bought online, so they could like reuse that and it's not wasteful, because at the end of the day it's like if you no longer play the game anymore, and let's say you bought a bunch of Fortnite skins and you no longer play the game no more. I know people sell the accounts, but like let's say they if you could individually sell the outfits or something like that, make a bunch of your money back, or maybe profit and move on, that'd be awesome too. But it's like, I don't know. Kind of reminds me of a dollar store variant of a Steam. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like what Steam does. Yeah, like yeah, that kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, it could get abused, but it's like it could figure out ways to doing that. Or digital skins in games is the asset that you personally own just digitally. Exactly. There you go. That's what I mean. NFTs could be a very good thing, but it got so abused, and so many scummy artists, or not, I won't even call them scummy artists. I would just say scummy people got into the field and ruined the whole thing, because there actually are, if you like, I was into NFTs, like looking into it, and I saw people who really brought in actual things into the NFT world, but they were overshadowed of all the scummy people of taking advantage of people of like with their scummy NFTs. And it sucked, man. It really does suck. So hopefully maybe the NFT world will resurrect in the future, but in a better way. Which they will call it something different, in a way that people could actually like use the NFTs that will incorporate with entertainment world, you know? Because again, we don't own anything in the digital digital assets. We don't own it. We're just licensing them. Oh, you posted it? All right, let me check it out. Oh no, community. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna delete your Maverick Boy. You're good. You're good. By the way, you didn't know. Community art pieces. The community art pieces that I post for my community. You want to put it on share your art. Yeah. So just like in the future, I'm gonna delete it after this, but yeah, put it on share your art. Which, by the way, this Sunday, guys, I will look into. I will do a. I'll check out all the artwork you guys post on Discord. By the way, this Sunday. But yeah. Oh, nice. I like how you do the reflection too. Noise. The little environmental piece. It's like a watercolor ish too. Yeah, Ryan said watercolor. Or like in the canvas. Oh, okay, there you go. I see you. Huh. The Undertale. It's like Zella. Oh my god. How do you join the Discord? Oh, here it is. If you want to join my Discord. Right here. Oh yeah, I got 3 characters I'm ready to use as well. I have a War Forge character based on V1 from Ultra Kill named Helios Blade. I then have Assassin's Changeling Rogue based on Calidus Assassin from Warhammer, and I'm currently working on creating a character based on Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. Ooh, damn, dude. You have a lot of characters. Holy hell. God damn, man, that's a lot of characters. By the way, guys, I want to let you guys know, we are doing a sub goal right now. We are we're 11 subs. Sorry, we're 11 subs away from hitting our goal. If you hit our sub goal, I will do a color pencil piece. Says is invalid or expired. Really? Okay. Oh, that one is okay. That's the timer one. Okay, yeah, I gotta update that one. Sorry. This is the other one right here. It should work though. That one should work. Um, I will do a color pencil piece for the first time in a while. The reason why I haven't done it is because, well, I got into a car accident, messed up my drawing arm. Want to see if you can actually do it. It's a brand new sub goal. So if you guys want to see that happen, subscribe today. You guys will also be added into the bar of the community drawing art. So in this one, it's gonna be pretty much the setting is at the bar. You could choose the cat character that you want to have within the bar, whether it's like really drunk, sober, fat, crazy, or whatever. You'll be added into the design of the bar. And also this bar design will also be part of the art book that I'm working on my adventure series. So you guys will be part of the art book and all that kind of stuff too. So you guys will support that. So yeah, like if you guys want to do that, subscribe today. Hey, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Like I said, D&D has really opened my eyes of creativity. Oh yeah, that's what I really want to get into, like D&D. Maybe it'll help me create like a story that I never even thought of. You know what I mean?
He's looking at Jean-Michel Basquiat. He's looking at Klaus Oldenburg and Keith Haring. So people who are creating pop-up shops, people who are creating.
Okay, today you have rehearsal, photo shoot, or we could just take a light day.
Creating products, they're interacting with the world of fashion and advertising and design, essentially just merging those barriers.
You know, it's just the same way that people try to like compartmentalize you with like, oh, you know, there's people that know me from graffiti and they're like, oh, you're a
like, oh, you're a
artist.
sellout, whatever.
Oh, you're a toy designer. If people, if their first interaction with me is at a museum, they're gonna be like, oh, contemporary artist. And I always felt like those labels are unnecessary.
A museum exhibition is a serious test for any artist's reputation. But for Kaws, would his first ever show in the UK help secure his place in the art world as a major contemporary artist? Kaws' first ever museum show in the UK has just opened to the public. It's a pivotal moment for him as an artist.
Every bit of weather has been chucked at this show. We've had wind, snow, ice, the whole thing, but always people out there.
I mean, physically, there's always like obstacles when you're installing something of this scale, and you have to consider sort of how is it grounded, how what are the winds in Yorkshire, like just things that you don't at first, like when I was thinking about sculpture, I never thought about, but then you realize it really becomes about engineering.
I think they're fantastic, and it's really something quite different that we've done here before. And there's some little children standing behind me earlier on, and they're just standing there with their mouths open thinking Mickey Mouse has just landed.
It has a look of Disney about it.
The finish is lovely as well,
Yes.
and the wood is lovely,
Yeah.
and the size is spectacular.
It is, very much so.
I think it might encourage the youngsters to actually get involved in art more, because it's not that, dare I say, studio or the fine art. It's more of a pop art in some ways.
Seeing it with the tree lines, seeing the wood sculptures, there's a certain warmth to it that I think really works. And then also it's the first time to have them all on the same sight line. Like I've never been in a situation where I can look across and see them at different scales or walk from such a distance where you have this little pea that eventually becomes this towering figure.
The thing that, I find really moving is watching how people just kind of converged onto this space, and that I've never seen that area of land come alive in the way that it did. It's beautiful, really beautiful thing to see.
Not only is the show a crucial opportunity for Kaws to consolidate his
I
position.
mean, it looks really cool, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, for sure. I'm currently creating a D&D campaign for the game for Tom Clancy's The Division. There's no actual system for it, so I'm just literally creating it from the ground up. Ah, okay. I'm bashing it around the Hunter faction from the game mode survival from the first game, and then having them be the main plot push. Oh, okay. I never watched or like played the Tom Clancy game Division. I believe they made a sequel like a couple of years ago, and it was very popular for some time, right?
Position in the art world. It's the first time he's been able to explore the use of wood on a grand scale.
The first wood sculpture we did, we wanted to make the hardest one possible, so we went with making a 10-meter sculpture. That just took, a lot of engineering to figure out. And I thought Small Eye just being, sort of a reference to Pinocchio and a wooden character that, wishes it was real.
This Pinocchio, this Small Eye, is 30 feet tall. He's as tall as a tree, practically, next to him. And he has this little slumped figure. It's the most compassionate work I think we have in the exhibition. And even though these are not human, these are, in a sense, these are toys or they're beasts, but the sense of humanity is very, very powerful in them. I think that when people see this exhibition, what they will understand here is the sheer quality of his work. I can imagine Kaws in a room with Joan Miro, with Henry Moore, and they would be talking for hours, because they have very, very shared concerns.
Big, flat, pure colors, people respond to them so much because they're so beautiful, and it's really something we don't get from nature, so that's something we depend on art to get, just the ecstasy of color.
I think Kaws' career is taking him everywhere. Really anywhere he wants to go, and I think the art world's a much more interesting place having him in it.
I think of it as art. What started as a toy now becomes art.
I feel like I've always put myself completely into the stuff that I do. It's just really naively optimistic about things, and it's knock on wood. Who knows? You'll be doing a story about me and bankrupt and selling my home, but at this moment, it's worked out.
Every show
a lot of artists.
wow, he's taken it to another level. Do you know what I mean? He's like a great jazz guy who's got complete control of his instrument. He has his style, and inside his style, he just keeps bringing it up to the next level. I can't imagine anybody not wanting to own a Kaws painting.
I mean, I appreciate what Kaws does, honestly. He's one of the few first designer toys I look into, and they're really cool, sort of simplistic, very cool art style, and that's kind of like one of the reasons why I decided to I want to create my own art style. I feel like that's the best way for me as an artist to really stand out from the rest of the crowd. And I don't mean by putting extremely detail on artwork or putting what everybody else is doing, right? Like it's one of the things that a lot of people say about in the art world and like when people do art boots, a lot of the art looks very samey. Now, does that mean they're all the same? No, but in the first glance, they look very same. Like they look like the same thing because everybody's doing sort of like the same techniques to create their artworks, right? Um, and so it's like I realized it's not about the detail; it's about certain quirks that will make you stand out compared to the rest of the people. You know what I mean? Oh, for sure, graphics appreciate that, dude. Oh, so I'm so sorry, Glitch. Sorry, I was like trying to finish this piece. Yeah, less popular than the first. It was a bit less good in its just execution and polish. But the first one is like a little chef's kiss of the game. It's really underrated. Really? Is it still going? All right, I gotta go to the bed at 5 a.m. Oh, 100%. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you on next stream. I really do appreciate it out. Thank you. Yeah, I stream Fridays through Sunday. Have a good night. Thank you. But yeah, I love this video. Like I said, I like watching like the history of like how people created their art or characters and stuff like that.